slides. Can you all see the slides, having just flicked a couple of times through? Good afternoon to you all. This is the second in our series of 3 webinars talking through how to get the most out of the members portal, and with a focus on the CPD area of the portal. So I will run through how to get in, how to register, how to look at the key sites, and then I will focus on the methods and the ways that you need to update your CPD as part of your membership obligations. What worked best the last time for those on the call is that many of them were clicking the buttons as I was going through the slides. So if you want to do that, please do. I'm happy to be interrupted and ask questions, or alternatively, when I get to the end, I'll take the screen off the slides, and we can go through any questions and queries that you might have as we go through. So first slide is really to show the fact that the website and entrance to the portal works on both your phone and your mobile. Phone and mobile, on your laptop, on your phone, on your iPad, on any device, I should say. That someone's coming in. Let me just admit them in. Sorry, I'm on my own today trying to manage this. Our administrator is on a day's leave, so apologies if I flick between the two. So the screen on the right is the mobile site, and certainly from my small iPhone, and the main picture is from the website as to what it looks like on the web. To direct you through what all the boxes actually might mean. Yeah, I'm just seeing someone else is having technical issues. If I can just go through the blue buttons and really how we operate. So the top of the screen is some of those will change as you log in, but at the top you can see they're direct to the company members information page. So those of you that have got access to the company members site can get that way. Upgrade form if you are members and want to upgrade your membership. There's a seamless method now to do that. If you want to directly communicate with Nadia and myself, click the Contact Us and sign in. That gets you through the system. Form to become a member, click the Become a Member button. Then come down the screen, white menu items, drop-down options, and I will run through those in a moment. So across the top we have About Us, Professional Recognition, Information and Events, Networking, Career Development. The bit in the top here in the black is pertinent to the entire website. Anything that has got a blue box around it is a clickable button box and will take you to, in and through different pages of the website. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the website, some of the blue links here are the same as that we have at the top. Our company members go across the bottom of the website on a sort of scrolling rotation, and our address and details are here. Further at the bottom of the main page is again quick links to our calendar and events, but I'll come back to that shortly as we go through the presentation, and articles, as it says, to keep up to date with the latest technical papers and any news updates that we wish to share with you. And we have a direct feed into LinkedIn. This screen is a couple of months old. We have, every time we do a LinkedIn post, your front page will change with that latest LinkedIn post. You can click on that and you'll go directly to our LinkedIn page. Further up, there's another way of getting signed in, and this is where you can change your password, link to register, link to become new members. So there's 3 different ways of signing in on the website and to get into your profile. when you click the top box to click in, you will get this screen that says member login. You log in using your constituent ID and your surname. That was given to you when you registered, and as if you came across from the old system, this was emailed to you in April and is on every newsletter that you receive. At the bottom of the newsletter is a reminder of what your login credentials are. But equally, if you need to reset your password, you can do that. Login credentials, click that, and you will get to the profile, which is really where I wanted to start from. So this is what your screen will say. It will be applicable for you, obviously. Many of you have now, or a lot of people have now gone in and are updating it, making it personalized, but we'll talk through this. I have cropped this bit of the page because there's personal information on here, which is pertinent to you and obviously not going to share on a public webinar. This is my work mobile, so happy for that to be displayed. Again, across the top, there are menu items, and we'll go through each of the sections in turn. Groups here, you can see, again, there's a little blue button and I've got the number 15 and it says see next slide. So I will click on the next slide. All of our communities of practice and regions have their own internal group within the portal. That means that the designated volunteer lead for each of those communities of practice and regions can see who has requested an interest or who has logged an interest in understanding what that community of practice and that region can do. And you can see from my screenshot here, the number of registered members, and you will also be able to see that when you log on. This is not an admin feature just because I have admin. You will see here it says no available groups. Those of you that are following me, you may well have a different message because I'm logged against every group, being an administrator, and also work very closely with Roy, one of the directors who's responsible for the communities of practice and the regions. So you will be able to see that, and we'll go through those in a little bit more detail as well. If I go back to the main page of the profile and start now to click on the tabs. Now I got to that by clicking the welcome Dawn Rossell, and you get a down arrow, and you are then presented with this page with 5 tabs on the left hand side. Profile, this is where you get the opportunity to update where you're working, your personal contacts, your email, or whichever email address you want us to communicate with you, your home address if you wish to share that, and other information like that. If you check that and click save at the bottom, that will record that detail. Information and settings. This is where you have the ability to say how you want to hear from us, whether you want to have regular, there's a regular newsletter that is sent by the system, which provides information on a weekly basis as to some of the activity that's gone on within the website and the members portal. You will get a weekly email on that if you want to receive it. If you want to receive news on the groups, which are the communities of practice in the regions, again, that information you can select, as you can see from the screen that I've got up here. You can also subscribe to receive blogs. We haven't got to blogs yet, but it is something that I want to promote this year, and you can manage your subscriptions there. One area that we haven't yet focused on but is available, and some members have definitely started to use it. If you know colleagues, friends, acquaintances, clients, companies that you think would be interested in becoming a member, there is a very easy feature for you as a member to click on the referrals box right at the top here, and submit their emails, they receive an automated email from the system requesting them to fill in to become a member. That logs against you, and you can track their activity through to becoming a member. So there's quite a number of features under this informations and settings box. We then go to, I've then moved on to the contents and features tab, as you can see highlighted here in blue under this bottom image, where I've written up here, upload latest CV transferred, members do not have a CV updated. Anyone that was a member prior to 2025-26 and that came onto the portal, we didn't have a CV stored. I reference CVs because anyone that's become a member since then, the way the member application process works is everyone needs to upload a CV, and that's how we go through the application process. So I've highlighted that because some of you will have a CV and others of you will not have a CV registered there. If you wish to give us feedback, there's a button there to provide feedback that comes straight through to the system for us. The next tab, payments and histories, fairly self-explanatory, but if we click on the first one, which is at the top here where my mouse is, invoices, the filter is on open, and this is all against my profile. I've got no outstanding invoices because my membership dues are fully paid. If I was to click closed here, again, those of you that do that will see if you have paid your membership fees, and you will see that what the invoice was and the fact that it's been paid and updated. The other three items across the top, event registration. Again, this screen was taken a number of months ago. And you can see that the last two events I've registered for a couple more events since then, is our event happening on the 3rd of February, the launch of the Welsh region, and then our awards evening. But the latest events will be visible to you here. I will go on to the next slide to show membership. And by clicking on membership, you will see that actually there are two forms of having a membership card. I say two because this is one that the system has created for you. This shows your constituent ID number and the grade that you are a member of. And you can print this, you can screenshot it, you can upload it against any of your records and references. But we have also enabled the facility of having a digital badge, which you will have had an email from Certifier with a digital badge, and that has your accreditation levels in it if you are professionally recognised through the authority as well. And then, as you can see my closed invoice when you click on the membership tab. That also shows the invoice and shows how to get to that view membership card. Now we come on to the professional development bit, and sort of how you log your CPD. There are instructions when you get to this point. And you can see here, they are sort of ringed in blue, which means that there is a further button behind that. And I will get to those slides as I've highlighted here, slide 17, slides 15 to 19, which actually show these instructions. So when you get to this and you're trying to log your your CPD, you do have the ability to have guidance as you do this. Simple things to remember: 1 hour of CPD is equal to 1 CPD credit. That's how the system has been set up. CPD year runs the same as our membership year, so that's the 1st of April to the 31st of March. And as attachments, only PDF and Word documents are accepted. But you can create PDF documents from all types of documents. So if so the first bit of the page will produce these boxes here, with certification programs and journal entrants also being buttons that you can press. And we've got down arrows against those. The next screen will go through some of those and how you access them. So yeah, this is, so click and add an entry. Let me go back a step. To log CPD, there are 3 ways of having this done. You can either do it yourself and you go into your profile and follow these instructions, or like today's event, those of you that are in attendance will have the CPD automatically logged for you. That's something that is done in the background by myself and Nadia as and when you attend events that you have registered for through the website. So there's an automatic way of getting your CPD logged. There is also a way of actually doing a year's worth of CPD on a form and uploading that. So for example, if you work for an organisation where you already have to log your CPD, you can simply download that evidence and upload that to the system, and you would and therefore your CPD is logged. So the 3 ways to do that is one at a time against every item of CPD that you undertake, automatically through registering to an event that we host, and thirdly by doing it through an upload of your own CPD. I'm going to show you sort of how all 3 are done here. So add entry is see down here by clicking this button here. So this is the box that you will get if you click add entry. And I'll start at the top with what the instructions say. So is this entry for a certificate or a program? Leave it as yes, because the certification is going to be created for you by admin every year. So every calendar year, there will be a new certification program. So we're currently in the 2025 CPD certificate. So you select the down arrow CPD, 2025 CPD certificate. You then, next box down is credit type, and I'll run through that detail on the next page. I'm just going to go through each of the boxes in turn here. The date of activity, whichever date it was that you were undertaking that activity. Description, we have the capacity for 175 characters. That is quite a lot, and certainly I've been able to sort of describe what the event has been through 175, less than 175 characters. Next box is the number of credits. As I said, 1 credit equals equals 1 hour. We can do it into decimal places, so half hour upwards, hour and a half, 2.5 hours. That can be submitted into here. You'll note that the next box hasn't got a mandatory element next to it, i.e. a red star, because it can't be a mandatory box. This is only required if the CPD you are submitting is time limited, i.e. I come from the engineering construction world, so I automatically went to safety passports. They have a time limit of 3 years. So hence the example of safety passports, you would put in the expiry date of that particular CPD that you're logging. If you took an exam as part of the CPD and you wish to share those results with us, please feel free to put that data in there. Activity code you can ignore. That's the one box that can be ignored. It's not required. If you remember, I said that CPD could be updated through completion of a form, and or you can put evidence of the certificate, the achievement, etc. And this is where you would do it. So if you were doing your annual CPD log, you would go to the top, say, click the down arrow for the year that you're doing it, and credit type, select one of them. The number of hours you would put in, the total that the document is you're uploading, and in the description you would say see annual CPD upload. and we can see all of this. We will be logging this, and we can pull that record up. You then do submit. This is the form if you want to use our form to log all of your CPD, but equally it's mirrored against many other companies who have got very similar spreadsheets, Excel forms, Word forms for you to log your CPD, and you will see, particularly if you are already working with an engineering bias and looking at getting professional accreditation things, you will know that you need to log how has it benefited you. So we've added that in as a column for you to submit. I indicated on slide 16 that I would go on to the detail of the credit type, and that's what's in on slide 18 here. We have created we've created 7 different descriptions of how we feel the majority of CPD is logged, that you attend. So internal training, attendance at any internal work training event. Hopefully relatively self-explanatory, but that is, if you have a subject matter expert that goes through a lunch and learn or a training event on a topic that is relevant to your role or project at the time, or if internal L&D deliver a training. So that's the type of thing that we're talking about, internal training. CASA volunteering, if you do any volunteering for us, so be that attend a regional or a COP meeting, attend, help us at the conference, help us do assessing, any activity that's involved in helping drive the authority forward, you could log that as a CPD. If you attended, next one is conference. This is any conference that is relevant to your professional work. So, there's we obviously have our own conference, but there's a range of conferences that would be relevant for you to attend as you go through your professional work. Face-to-face events, again, hopefully self-explanatory. Any attendance at any event that's relevant to your professional work, including events like PCG, for example. That would be classed as CPD under face-to-face events. External training, we've separated this out. With internal training, it might take place at work, but if it's delivered by a third-party organisation, we are requesting that to be classed as external training. Next one, informal CPD. If you read a technical paper, do research, that is what we're classing as informal CPD. Webinar. This is a classic example of what a webinar is: attendance of virtual event, webinar relevant to your professional work. So those are the categories that we are defining as credit types. So when you've started to input information into your CPD professional development tab, it will start to get populated. Again, this is the screenshot from mine. So under certifications and programs, you can see the 2025 CPD certificate. It says incomplete because we have set a minimum requirement of 30, and I'm currently on 25. So you can see webinar attendance has been 4 hours, face-to-face events 7 hours, and conference attendance, because I was there for the full 2 days, equated to 14 hours. So you can sort of see on a running tally what's under those headings, how you are doing across the year. If I just scroll down to the next slide, you will see, actually, if you click on the journal entries, the actual detail behind that, on which of these events that I have attended, and what the number of credits were that were eligible for that particular event. And this was done very, very recently, as you can see, because there's my attendance at the first one of these how to use your portal webinars. So those that is CPD. I'm just going to go through to the final slides, and then I will stop sharing and we can talk about this in a bit more detail. So going back to the front page, a couple of areas of other drop down information for you is all events are now all events that we are organising, be that a community of practice event, be that our conference, be that these webinars or face-to-face regional events, are all going to be logged against the system, so that if you are a member and you log it, it will automatically show as a member, and the point and your CPD, for example, will automatically log against that. There are a number of ways to get to this through the drop-down menu at the top, information and events, and also at the bottom of the main page, as you saw. There are more events on here. This was just the screenshot at the time. And I also want to highlight our conference, which is rapidly coming up, 13th, 14th of May. Tickets are available. Call for papers are still available, although I notice my slide says end of December, not updated that. And awards nominations are also available. And the award, 4 of the awards are here. We've got 8 awards in total, but again, I just wanted to show you the slide of what the event looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see you all, and probably stop recording. But I will also enable you all to speak if I haven't already done that. And has anybody got any questions? And if so, please put your hand up, please ask or put in the chat any questions. Or have I stunned you all into silence? Barry, you've put your hand up. Hopefully I can hear you. Let me just, yeah, there we go. Hopefully I can hear you now. Are you able to speak, Barry?
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yes, I can hear you.
we got there in the end.
Yes.
Very quick question from me just on the CPD log. I know you went through it quite intensely there. If we are logging the annual upload that you referred to, so we've obviously got a work one and we've already kind of pre-done that one. What credit type would we look to select? Because obviously I think that was one of the mandatory things that we have to put in, but obviously the log will probably cover all of them in one hit.
Yeah, and do you know what? As I was speaking, I was like, someone's going to ask me that question. And that's the beauty of creating this from scratch. You don't always think of everything as you go through. I'm going to answer you now to say I will create one this afternoon that says other, but with a sort of brackets for annual upload or something like that. So it's clear that it's against the sort of annual upload.
And then I guess the date of training, we would just put the day that we load it, because it would just be an annual cover. And okay, brilliant.
But no, very valid question, Barry.
Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions or queries or anything else that you might think, oh, why doesn't it say that? Because it could do that, etc. From a website perspective. I did notice something go into the chat. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, so for those that have joined the call after after I press record, all of this is going to be available on our YouTube site, of which we now have, and all webinars will be uploaded onto YouTube at the end of the recorded session. So yes, the slides will be available, the YouTube recording will be available. So just a heads up for the next session, where we will be going through the professional accreditation process. So by that I mean, again, a sort of quick overview of as to how to use the portal, what's available in your profile, and then we'll focus on the web pages that are available to you as members and how you apply to go through the professional accreditation. We'll load up the competency framework, and how that all links together, and the process in which you can become professionally accredited. So that event is happening on the middle of February, but the exact date is available on events. Note that we've got a number of events coming up between now and then, a face-to-face in Teesside, and a face-to-face in Wales, where we will be launching the Welsh region. And we have speakers at both events covering an estimating topic in Wales and a risk topic in the Northeast. And I'm hoping by the end of January, there will be a calendar of events from a theme discipline perspective on the events calendar, so you can see what we're planning across the year for you to look at registering for your attendance or interest against. So I think if there's no more questions, no more questions, I will close today's session. I'll stop recording, and thank you all for your time, and you get some time back on your lunch. So I've